It's the showcase of the Immortals, and I'm not talking about WrestleMania. I'm talking about us. There's two loose cannons, I'm Liam.
Ross.
So we usually on this show start with the positives. But given that WrestleMania is across 2 days, we've got to start with the negative.
Got to start with the...
Let's start with day one.
In my opinion, possibly the worst day one of WrestleMania I've ever watched in my life. Now, maybe I'm judging it too harshly, but that thing was just hyped up so much that it felt flat for me.
Yeah.
And at some points I couldn't even understand what was going on, to be honest with you. It made no sense having ISO Speed in that first match with the Usos in LA Knight. He was totally out of his element. As good as he was, and I will admit, he put on a couple of moves and all the wrestlers going, oh, wow, didn't expect this. But still, he was totally outmatched in that. I did like the ending, though. I'll give him that. I did like the ending where he came off the top and he frog splashed
Pole.
Logan Paul. So I'll give him that much. But the match itself was absolute rubbish. Like, that's not even worthy of a WrestleMania. In all honesty, not at all.
It was set up very much in the way of a UFC pay-per-view where you've got your undercard, your prelims, and then the main show starts. So Usos and then Jacob and Drew were your undercard ones. So I kind of got why it was crap. I know it's Mania and it's part of the set. It's hard to explain if you don't watch UFC and don't understand the TKO way.
Look, I understand that, but that match could have been so much better.
They could have.
Just, absolutely. They could have done so much better than that. They could have introduced a new member, Vision member or something, anything, to replace Speed. Just to, come in with someone like a beast from, one of the beasts from NXT or something.
Well, like something like a Royce Keys. I know that they had it winning Andre Giant Battle. That could have been a spot. Like
exactly, could have brought him in. Yeah, exactly, because they're still down members. And although we saw what happened later in the Rollins-Gunter match, which we'll bring up then. So they're getting people back, but I still thought that would have been a perfect opportunity to bring in someone from NXT to be another, because you're not going to see our bloke, our South Aussie, I've already forgotten his name. Bronson Reed.
Zilla.
We're not going to see him for probably another 2 or 3 months. So, but it is what it is. And like I said, they polished the turd with Speed coming off the top rope. So I guess everybody screams and yells and goes, oh, what do you mean? That was a great match.
And
the match was terrible.
Yeah, it was purely for a viral moment.
That's it. And they could have done that anywhere. Like, it wasn't like that needed to be, they didn't have to be WrestleMania to do that. That was a rubbish match. Drew, what's the point of having an unsanctioned match where no one's even broken out? Like, it was just rubbish. I've seen better hardcore matches than that.
Yeah,
but that was just crap.
You're 100% right. It should have just been made a singles match.
Exactly.
That's, why it is. Drew's going off to shoot a movie. They don't want him injured. So then you don't book it.
Don't book it. Yeah. Exactly. Just don't do it. See, the people who are booking these matches are the creative. It's just rubbish.
Yeah.
You hype that match up like we were expecting to see nipple twists and barbed wire and stuff, and it turned out to be a toolbox came out. Wow.
Yeah.
How exciting was that? There was nothing that I saw in that match that I couldn't have seen in any ladders or chairs or TLC match or a hardcore match or anything like that. But that didn't have to be unsanctioned.
No.
You're better off just going Street Fighter or something. I don't know. I was expecting guys to go through windscreens. I was expecting guys to come off.
Yeah, the build-up was more physical than the match itself.
Exactly. So I don't know if that took a toll on them and they thought, hang on, let's just bring it back a step.
No, I don't think it was. I think that they did that deliberately to build the hype into the match.
Yeah. And then the match falls flat. It feels absolutely like, what's going on? When is this thing actually going to turn into an unsanctioned?
Yeah.
Like, it was just,
It's no forward thinking there. And that matchup could have been so much better. We know
absolutely could have been so much better.
Of how Drew McIntyre, Jacob Fatu, it could have got ugly physical.
Oh, really ugly could have got ugly physical. And like I said, the build-up it got ugly physical.
Yeah.
So,
and then they pulled it back for the match itself.
They pulled it back for the
chaos.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that where it ends, though?
I don't think if Drew's going off to film, I don't. Depends on what his schedule is,
and how long he's going to be. On.
Yeah, and then we have the problem of who is actually going to be then the contender for Backlash. Is it going to be Jacob? Is it going to be what's his name? Randy.
Yeah.
So look, I could see him building Jacob into a rivalry with Cody. Maybe I could see him going back to Randy to the well. Drew, like I say, if Drew's heading off soon to do some filming, then you won't see him for whatever 3-6 months. Yeah. So if they're going to renew it, then the best thing I could see there is Jacob wins the title and then Drew comes out and screws him, and we have that rivalry come back again.
Yeah,
like he did several times with Punk and others where he was interfering in matches. As we know, that's the only reason Cody got this title shot was because of the interference. So they seem to love that sort of side of things, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They do. So then we had the women's 4-way tag match. Oh God, it's so hard for me to remember the participants, but those who watched know. Yeah, so you had Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, the Bella Twins.
Bella Twins. Well, not Bella Twins. Bella and Paige.
Yeah, late sub in.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Paige and what's her name?
Yeah. Then you had the big behemoths.
Yeah.
Nia Jax and Lash Legend, and then Bailey and Lyra Valkyria. And the way it was set up, they put a lot of time and effort into it. But another match that was so short for when you've got a 4-way tag at WrestleMania, should have gone for 9 minutes.
I actually thought it was a good match. But
it was a bit short.
And unfortunately, we had a show that didn't go to air last week. And I said to you, Liam, Liam said to me that they were positioning the Bella Twins to win it. And I sort of went, oh, yeah, if you chuck them in a 4-way, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
And then Paige walks out. I thought the fact that she came out, and I just thought they're just going to handle the title anyway.
And it's wrong.
It is so wrong. You have all these girls working so hard to get to where they are.
But it also
and Nikki gets injured, and then bang.
But we try to look, wrestling, we all know what it is, but you try to put some believability into it. So you've got tag teams like the likes of Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, both elite individuals who's built up a great team.
Yeah.
And then Lyra Valkyria and Bailey have been going around for a while.
Yeah.
Again, a very credible team.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, that credibility's gone because you've got a wrestler who the WWE want us to believe has sat on her ass for 8 years or whatever it was.
Yep.
And she hasn't.
Yeah.
And then comes in and tags with another wrestler who's been only back for 5 minutes, who's been away from wrestling even longer than that.
If anybody wants to know where she's been, just Google Saraya. You'll find out. It just blew the lid. And the whole match, I was just waiting for the Page pin. It was but it was as far as the match goes, I didn't mind it. It was good. But you're right, 9 minutes.
But does that have to do with? And we'll talk about it, once we get through it. But just how we look back at that and go, the day itself was shit. Yeah, and that stands out.
That stands out because it was okay. Yeah, absolutely.
But on another night for WrestleMania, that shouldn't stand out.
No. That's So, and the next match, the women's IC title. What is this love of Becky Lynch winning the IC title? Yeah. I just don't get it. She should be looking for world titles, not IC titles. Look, there was so much young talent coming through, and they keep giving this Becky the title. I just don't get it at all. Let her fight for the world titles. Yeah. Leave the IC and the US titles for those that are coming up.
Yeah.
That's what that should be.
And look, she did a great job at building Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah.
And
that's right.
It looks, I know exactly what's going to happen. Someone else is going to come up. Yeah. Going to help build them and then drop the titles back.
Yeah. I mean, Roxanne would make a great IC title.
Yeah.
Champion.
And that would probably likely be what that next feud is.
Because she has that edge. She has the Becky edge. She has that mean streak. She has that, and she's good on the mic. And she's, and I think, when we get to that match later, we'll talk about the Liv and Steph match anyway.
Oh,
but I could see Roxanne being a better IC title champ than Becky, and then you got that rivalry with Valkyria, and you're right. And then there's all this other talent, under talent coming through. So just don't understand the whole thing with Becky winning it constantly. Three times now.
It's a case of they think that they've played out, I think, Becky at the top of the card, and that Rhea Ripley has taken that position, and now it's like we've got to slot her in somewhere. So
I understand that. I do understand that, but I'd rather see her out there fighting for that than for an IC title.
What I'd say
IC title means
diddly squat. But what I'd say is the Undertaker didn't have many championships.
That's right.
Throughout his career,
he didn't need them.
What is it with this obsession? And it's a WWE obsession that the top people have to have the titles
to give them credit. Yeah,
they don't.
Well, like I said to you, and again, it didn't go to air, but we discussed this last week. Rhea Ripley hasn't had the title for 2 years, and you were shocked when you heard.
Yeah, I was, because it feels like she's been there or thereabouts.
She hasn't. And because they did this whole thing with,
Sky.
Io Sky, that it's been taking up all her time. So this is the first chance she's actually gone back to fighting for a title. Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm sure she's had some others in between, but they've been triple threats and there've been other stuff. So, but that's day 2 anyway. We'll discuss it.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah.
So again, I just don't get it. But I'm sure there's a plan. But creative are just absolute. I'm losing the plot with creative, to be honest with you. I just don't think there's no creative here at all.
No.
Like, that match was so dull and boring. I just thought, again, not WrestleMania worthy. Not at all. You could do that on Raw. You could have done that on SmackDown. You could have done it on
I agree.
Event if you wanted to.
But what I'd say to that is, I don't mind this being a WrestleMania matchup. I don't mind it.
It had to be better then. If it's going to be a WrestleMania matchup, the match had to be better.
Not every match needs to be a 5-star quality.
I understand that, but that was 2 stars, mate.
Yeah, I know. But consider this: if they were male, you've got the two of arguably the greatest of all time. Now, I don't. I'm not going to say I believe AJ Lee is the greatest of all time, but
she's not
for that era that she was.
That's right. Yeah.
She was the greatest in her era.
Yeah.
And then you've got Becky Lynch, who's arguably the greatest of all time. Yeah. So that's the marquee. I think of some Undertaker matches weren't good.
Of course they weren't, and not every match is going to be great. No. But I just don't get this. Fascination with Becky Lynch winning the IC title all the time.
And I just don't get it. I'm with you with that. I'm with you with that. And it just comes down to really, really bad booking.
I know I'd love the build-up. That build-up to that match was absolutely magnificent.
It was.
You literally thought that these, that whole, I'm your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler, I'm your daughter's favorite wrestler. That stuff you could see was, that was really getting to Becky.
Yeah,
but it didn't carry. I get another one that just didn't carry over into the match. Now, whether that's because AJ can't go that anymore,
that's it.
Maybe that's it. Then, if that's the case, don't have it on the card. Leave it for whatever they are. It's Raw, is it? I can't remember.
What Raw WrestleMania?
Yeah, leave it for that match and then have them go for it. Excuse me. Same result, doesn't matter. But anyway,
So then we go to Becky's husband.
And this is a match I thought like 2 genuine A-grade wrestlers, and I thought this match would be half decent, and it sort of lived up to it, I guess. I couldn't find fault with it. It was a good match.
It was
solid, back and forth. Loved the ending with Breaker coming out. Was expecting him to come out with the Vision Speed versus Uso LA Knight match, but that kind of gave it away, I guess, because we heard whispers. We spoke about this last
ready to go.
We heard that he was ready to come back. So when he didn't come out in the first match with Vision and Speed to help them win that one, it kind of, to me, then I thought, well, he's coming out in the Rollins match, so he's going to be
I think they were trying to be a double bluff.
Yeah.
And then, well, if he hasn't come out during the LA Knight Vision match, then he's not coming out. And they'll sell it as a potential, is he going to return on Raw after Mania?
No. For me, straight away, when I saw that he wasn't coming, when he didn't come out to help the Vision, straight away I thought, Rollins back. He's coming out in the Rollins match.
So I'll tell you what I didn't like about this match. I had no reason to be invested in it.
Yeah, there was no build-up. there was
the
nothing.
build-up felt like it was very much last minute. We don't have anything for Gunther.
Yeah.
Rollins is back from his injury. Let's pair them up.
Well, the build-up was, if Gunther wins, he's going to ask a favor, or he gets a favor from does win or not. He gets a favor from Paul Heyman, and we know what the favor's going to be. So, again, it's no mystery to it. Like, we're not going to be sitting there going, "Oh, what's he going to ask? What's he going to ask?" You know. So, you know, we can get to that in day 2. We can discuss why we think Gunther wants the favor, but yeah, look, the creative's just losing it. But they did so well at keeping secrets, especially around Rollins' knee and that when he cashed in the Money in the Bank and that. But this just looks like a mess now. It's just, you know, all over the place. The next match was Liv and Steph. Just like, absolute again, a match that could have played off Raw or SmackDown. It didn't have to be at WrestleMania because it wasn't worth it.
Yeah, but throughout this whole feud, didn't I say I wanted to?
You said Liv.
Right.
Now, and it's not about the winning. It's about how they go about it. It's the same crap. Roxanne comes out. Rochelle hits her. Liv gets the pin. It's a 3-on-1, and we just all go, oh, really? Like, it was better off if they just let Liv go it alone and win it. Just absolutely win it without any interference at all.
And I flipped. And I at the end of it, I was like, I want Stephanie to continue.
Yeah, it was.
And it's largely because what the hell did they do to Liv with that stupid music video?
Exactly. Some of the entrances were terrible, man.
That was diabolical, though. That was diabolical. Because to me, that does not add anything to her character.
No, it doesn't.
If it adds something to your character, by all means do it. But that's just where she's been headed. Like, that feud is setting her up to be unhinged for the match. Yeah. And she comes out like a still Britney Spears.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But her face was like, she still had that massive hair. Yeah. I'll give her credit. She's such a huge head, and she still had, like, her eye was still a stark black eye. I'll give her full credit. I just don't like the way they did it. Like, there could have been so many different ways they could have run that match, but to do it the old-fashioned, Roxanne gets the attention of the ref, Raquel hits her, Liv gets the pin. It was just sloppy, pointless.
Again, I had Liv winning it a long way back, but now looking at it in the weeks leading up, the very last weeks, Fakir was finally doing her best.
That's right.
And now we've taken that belt away. Where's she going to go to?
That's right, exactly. And I'll give you credit. When we talked about Oscar, and because you said the reason you didn't like Steph is because you can't understand what she's saying, and I brought up the fact that Oscar and EO and the Pirate Princess all didn't speak English all that well, and then that's what they did to Steph. They made it just this raging Hispanic or Chilean, just absolute. And you're going, wow, you can see the emotion in it.
Yes, finally.
That's it. Finally, we have something. She's not this boring. So this please like me.
Where she should have freaking retained. Now, there was talk that Liv was going to win the title at Backlash. Somehow it was going to get all screwy, and maybe Raquel would get involved and somehow screw Liv out. Yeah. And then it becomes a triple threat for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That wouldn't have been a better option.
I would have preferred if Roxanne had screwed Liv.
Yeah.
And then night 2, she comes out and helps the demon, or walks out with the demon.
Yeah.
Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Because she's the only one out of that trio that I could see. Like Raquel, Raquel's not. She'd have nothing with Finn Balor. It's like there's just never been that relationship. Whereas we know that Finn brought Roxanne in. Yeah. So there is that background. Yeah. And that's what I would have preferred to have seen. And then you could have had something different come from it. Yeah. You know, and Liv can still win it down the track. There's nothing wrong with that. But just same old. That was the problem with the match. It was just the same old.
Now, one last thing before we close this one off, because I don't think there's really a lot to speak about, because it wasn't a noteworthy match. It wasn't very, very bland. Yeah. 7 minutes. It didn't feel like it went for 7 minutes. It felt like a 4-minute match.
Yeah, it was very quick. Yeah.
That's insane. Okay. Yeah, that's insane. Yeah.
And most of these matches were quick and gone.
Yeah.
It was almost like they were rushing through them to get all the commercials in. Yeah. Instead of the other way around. So, yeah.
So while we talk about that, what was this show runtime and the breakdown?
So the runtime was 2 hours, 35 minutes. So if you break that down, that's a 4 hour, almost 5 minutes short of 4 hours.
Oh, yeah. So 235 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So 235. So just short. It's 3 hours, 55 minutes.
Yeah.
Their match times took 82 minutes. That's an hour 22.
So almost, let's say, God, one and a bit hours out of 4.
1 and a bit hours. So
Just WrestleMania
stuff. Yeah.
Keyword
wrestle match, and that's matches. All right. And then the wasted time was 153 minutes. So that's 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours of commercials, entrances, all that other rubbish that they put.
I did see that there was 53 or was it 55 minutes of entrance time?
Yeah, 55. Of entrance time.
And there was only what seven matches on the card.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah. Just absolute crap. It was just. It was
just that
was the other thing.
Commercial.
That's right, and that was the other thing I think pissed me off. I know for sure. I go there for I don't go there for the commercials. This isn't the Super Bowl where the commercials are good, and some people actually want to see the commercials when it's Super Bowl time. These were crap commercials. These were just rubbish. If I could see the Miz again with a Snickers in his hand, I'd kick him in the nuts. Honestly,
sounds like you need a Snickers. All right, so
last match,
the main event. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, which had enormous potential. And it almost went the way the bloody build-up went. It started off so promising, and then Cody Rhodes needs to work out, is he a heel or a face?
To me, it was rubbish because you get hit with a mic, all right? And then Randy Orton's holding you from behind, and you manage to kick out and hit Randy Orton once, and he falls out of the ring, and then for the next 5 minutes, he's incapacitated. That's shit creative for me. This is Randy Orton. You can't hit Randy Orton once with a fist. At least get a chair or get the mic and smack his head in or something so it's believable. Yeah. But to just hit him once, have him go over in between the second rope, and then lay there for 5 minutes while they did the whole thing with McAfee. Now, that was just crap to me. Creative is just so sloppy.
Yeah.
Absolutely sloppy. And then the ending made no sense to me at all. Like, McAfee comes out and you're thinking, right, he's got the ref's top on. And then he does it. And the minute he did that slow count, I thought, Randy's not winning this match.
Yeah.
He's not winning it at all.
He could have at least done a count.
That's right.
That was a decent pace.
That's right. That was a decent count. So it didn't give away that he was going to...
kick out.
That's it. He was going to kick out. Because the minute he goes 1, 2, you knew, Cody's kicking out. So if it just done like that, and then Cody kicks out, you think, oh, he's trying to give Randy the win.
Yeah.
Just sloppy work, creative work, really. Like, just absolute. I mean, the match itself was what you'd think of between Randy and
but
Cody.
It could have been better. Like, just the story within the match. Yeah. Cody Rhodes is 1 minute a heel, next minute he's a face.
Yeah.
We've really got a solid heel in the match, and Randy Orton.
Yeah,
so it's not as if it's two faces facing each other.
That's right. Yeah. And that was the point. And the whole point of that match was to sell tickets. Now, I don't know if it achieved its job, but the match didn't live up to it. If I bought tickets to go see that match, I'm walking away disappointed, honestly. Creative, like I said, was just...
If you bought tickets to day 1 as compared to day 2, mate, yeah. Just thousands of dollars to be there.
Mate. Absolute rubbish, that match.
Yeah.
But the Cody Crybabies got their way, which is going to make the WWF, because, again, they buy merch. They go out there, they'll buy up all the Cody stuff.
Yeah.
And world will move on and they'll think that Cody's the man because he sells merch. Cody's selling merch regardless of whether he's got a title or not.
Yeah.
Simple as that. So,
He's a good guy. So, would you say your highlight of the night was a lady coming out and revealing herself?
Well, that was very interesting because when she came out, we discussed this last week, didn't we? Yeah. So, we'll talk about Bianca Belair. That's it. Where was Bianca Belair? And we talked about the fact that there was a rumor that she'd lost the baby, and then she, of course, comes out. And my thoughts for it is when she starts talking about, I've got something under whatever the jacket, whatever you call it, the gown. Is I'm expecting to see a ref's top, and for her to say, I'm going to be refereeing the Rhea Ripley Cargill match.
Yeah.
But of course, she takes it off, and we all know what happened. If you watch the show, there's a big baby bump.
Mm.
So the rumors of her losing the baby were very incorrect. But good luck to her. Congratulations to her and Montez. Well done. That's going to be one hell of an athlete.
Yeah, right.
I'm telling you, that's in 20 years, watch the Olympics, because he or she is going to be winning multiple gold medals for sure. Absolutely, as a track and field, I guarantee you, 200, 100, 200.
With plenty of charisma too.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So,
congratulations to
congratulations. Before we go on to day 2, just thinking about anybody who missed WrestleMania. Is anyone that stood out in terms of that didn't make the card that you thought, why the hell are they not on the card? Or they should be on the card?
No, not really, because I think we had the Wyatt 6 versus the MVPs.
Yeah.
We had most of the people we had in the build-up. Like, no one really stood out to me that I thought, oh, they should be there. Did you have anybody in mind?
Yeah, Tiffany Stratton. Yeah, I'll tell you what.
Tiffany Stratton's lost all momentum to me.
You can't have her on the build-up. And she was heavily involved in the promos in the lead-up. Now, Io Sky did make the card because I know I'll get called out. Well, Io Sky didn't have a match, but she did play a part.
Yeah.
So to have her not play any part in it, it kind of felt a bit strange to me.
Maybe that's where Becky goes next. Maybe that's her next opponent.
Maybe, but she's got that match against Julia on SmackDown, so maybe she ends up winning that.
Well, that's true. Sorry.
Yeah. I reckon that was slated for the card, but then I'm looking at where it would land on the 2 days.
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah.
So I guess they probably thought they're better off not doing another 7-minute match.
So look, they could have shoved it on day 2 if you wanted to, because there's 7 on day 1 and 6 on day 2, so they could have put it in there. Compared to day 1, day 2 runs, 16 minutes shorter.
Yeah, but it had more wrestling though, didn't it?
It did, definitely. I'm not sure whether they heard a lot of people's moans and groans, and there was a bit of feedback online about how long between matches there was and how many commercials and stuff were, that they trimmed it, or that was the plan all along. But we'll run through the numbers. So the run time was, like I said, 219 minutes.
Yep.
So that equates to what? Almost 3 hours, and I think it's about 3 hours 39.
Yeah.
Match time was 86 minutes, so just over
an hour and a half.
Yep. So that was 4 minutes longer than day 1, and day 1 ran, like I said, for 16 extra minutes. So that tells you how many commercials and lead-ups and everything there was to that. And the wasted time was 132 minutes. So that's 2 hours and 12 minutes of wasted entries and commercials. And so that's still a huge amount.
Oh, massive.
Absolute massive amount. More than half of your show is built into commercials and entrances.
Did they have enough ads across the product? I reckon they had more commercials on this WrestleMania than they had prior. If you added up all 41 WrestleManias before this, more ads.
Yeah. This is Netflix at its best, honestly. It is absolutely. This is what Netflix do now. They just advertise.
Oh, it's not Netflix. It's TKO.
Yeah.
This is them selling their song.
Yeah, well,
This is it started off with sponsors on the canvas. And it's just spread out everywhere, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Ring posts, you've got the LED barricades.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
You've got wrestlers doing skits that involve sponsored products. And look, that's okay, because you think of back through time, you've got Slim Jim.
Yeah, that's
some of the most iconic things have come from commercials. But when you overdo it,
that's right. You people turn up. Yeah, absolutely. It becomes boring and you don't even want to watch it.
Yeah. But they don't care because they're lining their fat wallets. Yeah, you do.
We do, because
we don't want to see again next year.
We don't want to see, of course, we don't want to see the product deteriorate to this point. And I hope they're not tone deaf and think that they can do this every year, because people will just go, no, I'm not watching.
Well, then the amount of money they're getting from Saudi Arabia next year, they don't do this, but they will.
The other thing is that, I don't know about you, but I waited, obviously. I didn't watch it live. And then I could actually, when it started to get on my nerves, I just started to fast forward. and move through it. So,
well, next year, there's a good chance that'll happen because WrestleMania will be on 1 o'clock in the afternoon in America. So,
yeah. So, look, you can't turn your fans off like that. You just can't.
No.
So, day 2
started off with a bang.
Match. What did you think? What did you think of it? Over Brock.
I think it went the way we would expect it.
It's handing over the torch.
It was never going to be a 20-minute barn burner.
No.
It was going to be physical and quick and, I guess changing of the card. It kind of did shock me that Brock Lesnar retired.
It didn't shock me, and I'll tell you why. Because of the favour, I think that Heyman will owe Gunther. So that's why it didn't shock me. And I think if you're going to do it, that's where you do it.
Yeah, so he's going to try and get Brock out of retirement.
That's it. So I think if you're going to do it, you do it on the grandest stage. You put everything in the middle like that. You wave to the crowd. Because that's where you're going to get the biggest.
There was rumours, though, because it's in Minneapolis, SummerSlam.
Yeah.
That's where Brock was going to pull up stars.
Yep. And he will. That's probably where he has the Gunther match.
Yeah.
So maybe it is Minneapolis.
I just don't think that the creatives doing, they're stretching themselves and backflipping to try and, because the logic behind that, it's stupid.
Well, look, we've seen guys put their stuff in the middle of the ring and still have matches after that.
Yeah.
So, just because I just think they gave him, they might have even gone to him and said, look, these are your choices. Do you want to do it here or you want to wait? And he probably said, no, if I'm going to do it, I'll do it here. My family's here. It's the biggest stage of all, so let's just do it here, and then we can still move forward. They can say we've talked him into doing something like a Cena farewell, where he has a couple, not just one match, maybe a couple of matches, and then he dips out. I don't know. Do we really want another Cena?
No,
farewell, no retirement. Do we want Brock to do a Cena retirement?
Yeah,
no. We want quick, fast, couple of matches, maybe at most. Definitely one. We all want to see him and Gunther, but we know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, it's pretty much giving away the plot here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So for me, look, we know Brock can go. We know Brock's been involved in 20, 25-minute matches, so we know he can go. The only reason I think they kept it short and sweet was because I don't think Over can go. Not at that level. Not against someone like Brock, who's a true athlete and has been in the ring for 20, 30 years. So, but it went exactly how we thought.
Yeah.
It's a handing over the torch. Good on him. We've seen this with a lot of wrestlers. So
that seems to be the way out these days. If you don't win your farewell match, you hand the torch over.
That's it. You hand the torch over, and are we really that sad? I said to you, I find it hard to look at Over Fetty and not think you lost to Ricky Starks. I just can't get over that. I just can't get over the fact they had him lose to Ricky Starks.
It's not so bad when you don't watch NXT, and I didn't see that, so I'm just choosing.
And at the time, I thought, how could you do this to this player? I understand he's going up to the main roster, but that's not the way you see him exit NXT. I lost to Ricky Saints, really?
Yeah,
like that's sort of shit. That just wrecks him. Yeah. That's giving a cattle prod to our mate in WCW, bloody, just cattle prodding him so he loses the run and he gets pinned and Goldberg,
Yeah.
Like, that's just destroying a product. And they're lucky he had somewhere to go. And people are probably, like you say, who don't watch NXT, don't understand how just ridiculous creative was to have him lose to someone like his Saints. Like, it's just no sense at all. No sense at all.
But that's okay. I live in at Dreamland. It didn't happen.
Well, that's it. And for people, but you can go back and you can have a look if you want.
Yeah, no,
it's right there on NXT. It's not like it's going anywhere. It's not like they hit the copy of the
well, they might after this episode. I'll tell you what.
So,
it got in pretty hard.
And so every time I see Opa Fetty now, I will never be able to get past that fact. He just has zero credibility with that fact.
Going back to something in-house joke here. When you look at Big Show, do you look at the fact that he lost to Rey Mysterio?
but everybody lost to Rey Mysterio. That was the problem. And that pissed me off to no end. Batista loses to Rey Mysterio. They had the great Khali lose to him. They had the Big Show lose to him. It wasn't just the Big Show, but they had this string of people lose. And that's the thing that pissed me off. It was unbelievable crap. Like, you can't have someone fighting a 500-pound bloke and he's only weighs, 180 something.
Yeah.
And Hurricane Rana-ing him, and then just coming off it and, like sitting on his face and then laying him out. Like, I mean, they think we're stupid, and to have him go up against Batista, I mean, that was just the dumbest thing I'd ever seen in my life. That's why I absolutely hated Rey Mysterio back in the day, because they just turned this little bloke into this superhero, and it was just bullshit to me.
Hey, this is a good time because he's in the next match.
I'm sorry, man, but I know people love him, and I do now. I respect the bloke for his skills. When he was in WCW, I think, mate, this guy's great. But to have him do that to guys like those, just the three, and that was just three I mentioned. There were others that you just thought, this doesn't look right. No. So anyway, so he said, we had the ladder match for the IC title next.
Yeah.
Now,
which obviously, you enjoyed.
Give me a ladder match anytime. Right? That's some of the best matches I've ever watched in my life are ladder matches.
Yeah.
Like just some of the acrobatics, the moves, things like that. I'd like to see Rusev get OG cut from, that was just huge. See guys going through ladders, to see, all that sort of stuff. So I did enjoy that match. As to Penta winning it, I didn't really care who won it. There was a lot of talk around, what's his name winning it from Judgment Day.
Yeah, JD
McDonough. Yeah, so there was a lot of talk about him winning it, and then that would piss obviously Dom off, and then he'd have this.
I think they're rewarding Penta because Penta's
absolutely
connected very absolutely,
and he deserves it, mate.
Yeah, he does.
I'm not saying. Yeah, there was just a lot of background noise around who might win it. They were talking about McDonough for the fact that Dom and look, any of those guys. The only person I didn't want to see win it was probably Ray, because it's not because I don't want to see him win it. It's because he doesn't. He's on he's what, maybe 3-4 matches a year. If you ask him to carry a title, you're asking him to probably jeopardize. And he's not injury prone.
No,
but. He's probably coming to the end. Yeah, and he'll be facing Gunther soon, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
But what do you think?
I enjoyed it. It was, the pacing of this show was pretty good too, because I felt like after Oprah and Brock went for 5 minutes, it wasn't taxing to have that match next. And then what followed was, Sami Zayn and
Trick, which was
Trick Williams. But basically, enjoyable. It was, I think everyone in that match was showcased very well. So for everyone that was in that match, they had their moment. And
which one? The ladder match?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. It served its purpose. It was good.
No, I'm a Rusev fan, and I'd like to see him have gold. Definitely. I'm just not sure he's ever going to get there. Same with Aleister Black. I like Aleister Black. I think he brings something. He's a point of difference.
Yeah.
He's not just some, like drone out.
There you go. There's someone that you could have added to the.
Well, I don't know that maybe he could have been in something. He needs to feud with someone though. Like,
they had that whole Damian Priest thing.
They did, and I think we all got a bit sick of the whole Damian Priest. Yeah. And he's involved with the titles, the tag team titles. So, so he desperately needs, and I honestly would like to see him become the 6th in Wyatt 6. Because I think he'd be great in the Wyatt 6. Yeah. I really do. Or he needs to go into the Vision, one or the other.
Okay. Yeah.
He needs that.
He needs something.
He needs something around him other than his wife.
Yeah.
For me, just to get him up there, just to make, because it's a no-brainer to have him in the Wyatt 6. I think he'd be perfect. He gives you the creeps anyway, so he'd be absolutely fantastic in that role as the 6th man. But they want to keep, obviously, we know Bray's the 6th, so the spirit of Bray's the 6th, so I guess you can't really do that. But Sammy and Tripp, I was a bit.
We all knew how this was ending.
Yeah, exactly. It had to end. Yeah, with Tripp Williams winning it, had to. Yeah. There's no point in Sammy going on. And this was the swan song. This is what I truly believe. I don't think you'll see Sammy vying for another title again or winning another title. He might still be in the picture. I don't think he'll win another one.
But they invested so much time in him, that build up to WrestleMania, chasing that world title. I think it's scary times for us who don't believe he should win a title, because I think if there was a time to put the gold on it, it's straight after WrestleMania when the interest starts to die out.
I think the fans told you everything you need to know about what they think of Sami Zayn. As simple as that. They told creative, they told management, they told everybody this guy shouldn't have been in the picture for the US title. They resented him for the fact that he was there.
Yeah.
They wanted to see Mello Hayes. Now, there's a name I think should have been there. Mello Hayes. Should have been the three-way with Sammy and Tripp. And that would have been easy to do, because they just would have said, well, Tripp cost you the title. You need to be involved in the three-way with Sami Zayn and Tripp.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
And then I think that would have appeased the crowd too. Would have appeased the fans, because he's in a WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
And you could still have it go the way it went.
You know,
and I would have thought that would have been a more enjoyable match as a three-way.
It was kind of odd. The build-up of WrestleMania, before we knew what any of the matches looked like, there was talk of there was going to be major multi-man matches.
Yeah.
Turned out there was none. Apart from we've got the IC title.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
But then the other multi-person match was the women's four-way.
Yeah.
The tag.
Yeah.
So they could have rolled out another multi-person.
Yeah, they could have done a lot.
Yeah.
But
they chose not to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I would have been happy if Drew had held the title and it went to Drew, Cody, and Jacob for the title instead of it being Randy.
Yeah.
So, and we talked a fair bit about whether that would be what happened, because not only did Drew we seem to have forgotten that he screwed Jacob just as hard as he screwed Cody.
Yeah.
And yet Cody got the ride and Jacob got forgotten.
You're not wrong.
So they should have, for me, that should have been a three-way for the title, WrestleMania. Simple as that.
Yeah.
But they decided to go with Cody and Randy, so that's history. So I agree with you. There should have been more
multi-person matches. Yeah. But yeah, as far as the match went, it was pretty much I won't say it, but a filler.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely.
Yeah. But it helped put Trick over.
Yeah, and that Yardy was just
little Yardy.
Little Yardy. Little Yardy. I'm glad he got whacked though.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
But look, it was
nothing real.
Nothing real.
Yeah, I want to add to that.
I think moving on, I could see Tripp doing big things.
Oh, no doubt.
Definitely. They're positioning him to do some.
They're just gradually
the tease sort of stuff.
Because gone are the days, and I hated it when you had someone new stuck in the world title picture.
Yeah.
Straight away, you've got to introduce a character, and they're doing it very well with him.
Yeah.
So
I think the next step for him is Mello.
Yep.
They'll have a few matches here and there. I think that'd be great, because they're both really great athletes. And then, I don't know, he drops it to someone. Doesn't really matter who he drops it for. And then they introduce him into the world title picture.
And he'll be ready.
Yep. Speaking of world titles, what do you think of the Rhea Jade match?
Oh, I've said beforehand I wanted Jade winning this. I still stand by that. I put my hand up and say if I was booking, Jade wins that.
Yeah.
I don't think Rhea needs it as much. Jade. Look, some of this feud was very interesting in the sense that I hated it, but then there was bits of it that I loved.
Yeah.
I loved that
there was a real beef.
Yeah.
There was actual real.
And if you're looking to establish Jade as a top tier women's performer, she had to win that, because her title reign before that was terrible. Yeah, so she needed something to hang her hat on.
It was.
Now that title reign has passed, it feels as if it's been and gone, and she's achieved nothing.
Yeah,
it was a hollow title reign.
Yeah.
You don't have to like her. Is she a quality wrestler? No. Debatable. But the look is
absolutely, and that's what we're hanging your hat on. Yeah, absolutely. The look is what it is. Well, I didn't mind it, and you know my reasons why. Rhea's a local girl. We love her. Unfortunately, she's the close supporter, but that's a different thing altogether. We forgive her.
I haven't forgiven her for wearing that calm top.
So look, And I always cheer for the local product. You know, I want to see Bronson do well. I want to see Rhea do well.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see the one that's on NXT. So, yeah, that one too.
Yeah,
Zarya do well. You know. So look, I'm happy with that. That's who I wanted to win. I think they can inject Jade back into the picture. It's not going to be hard to have her hanging around the fringes.
Yeah, believable.
You know,
just by putting her in there with that.
I can see her teaming up with one of the two stooges she's got and maybe winning tag gold just to keep the dogs off.
Yeah.
For a little while, so she's still credible.
A bad spot because she doesn't need to wrestle as much, and she can refine her craft.
And then they can go to Freebird Wolves if you want. You know, just have the two stooges.
I don't mind that
wrestling, and then her coming in. Yeah. So I can see that happening too. Just as because she's going to have something with Io Sky. I can guarantee you, Rhea and Io are going to go at it. Rhea's never beaten Io, so they're going to do that whole. She'll give her best friend a chance to win the title, or whatever.
So is that, do you think that builds up all the way to Mania?
No, I think they get that out of the way. And I think by that time, they're hoping that Bianca might be back. And then they can have that much awaited three-way with Jade and Bianca and Rhea.
Yeah.
Because I think that was always on the card. I think they were looking at that. And then you've got to remember that Naomi's going to be, I don't think Naomi will be that far away. And she's going to win her title back because she never lost it.
Yeah.
So you're going to have that picture coming in because she dropped the baby in March?
Yeah, but what if she doesn't want to come back?
Well, that's true.
She was attached to the...
That's it. That's true too. That's true too. Yeah. But if she does, I can see that then being another layer that's included.
Yeah.
And Bianca's like, I don't know how far gone she is, but she could be 12 to 18 months away anyway.
Yeah.
So that could be 2 WrestleManias down the track. So I think we're going to have that whole dynamic of Naomi coming back, this feud still with Jade, and then Io Sky, and then don't forget about Oscar. She's got some beef with him as well. So there's going to be this dynamic of, I think they've got enough storylines to keep them interesting, so that when Jade does come for the title again, they can build that match up. But they got to put gold around the waist, whether that's US gold or IC gold or tag team gold. They got to put something around her waist to hold her until she gets.
I mean, I think from what I understand, they paid a lot to get her in.
Yeah.
So they're not going to want to sit her on the sidelines on that big contract.
That's right. Yeah. And one of the biggest mysteries to me was how they even bothered to put the two stooges with her. I just, went from beefing with her to being her best friends. It just, again, creative. It's just driving me mad with some of these storylines. Like, it just makes no sense. So, but anyway, it is what it is.
They should never beefed and just put them with it, because
that's right. That's it. It does make sense. And so you're spot on. Don't beef. Just chuck and milk together, because it just confuses, muddies the water.
It does.
We just don't understand what's going on. All of a sudden, they're worst enemies and then they're best friends. Like, it just like, we're stupid. We don't know what's going on. And it just, to me, they must think that wrestling fans are just don't know what they're doing, or not knowledgeable, or haven't got a thought in their heads.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Creative for a while has just been terrible.
Yeah.
But we all say this, and I can guarantee you none of what we've just said is going to happen, except for maybe Rhea and Io.
Yeah.
So.
Look, I hear so much about how it's so hard to book 3 shows. That's NXT included. The amount of time that's spent thinking about but half the time you think, what thinking has actually been put in?
That's right. Yeah.
You've rolled out a half-baked piece of shit that I could have done on a taking a shit in the toilet for 10 minutes to think of.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like, and that's how it plays out.
Yeah.
None of this that you're talking about that you've come up with like that gets thought about and nutted out. Throw it on a whiteboard and then fill it out.
Yeah.
It's not difficult.
It's not. And you're spot on. But you got to understand. And look, these guys have probably know more about wrestling than you and I do.
Of course they do.
This is why it frustrates me that they're shit in the bed week in, week out.
Yeah.
Because they just don't seem to have an understanding, or they either that or they just think the fans are stupid. And they can chuck whatever product they want out there.
So what they should have is a wall-sized whiteboard, right?
Yeah.
And look at WrestleMania 43. This should have already been done.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 44. What are our matches? And then your worst. How do we get?
Yeah, that's right. So
how do we build that up?
Yeah.
It feels like there's not. I mean, this year's WrestleMania felt like it was decided in the last few weeks. Look, I mean, what the hell?
There's going to be people coming out like Soul Workers going to be coming up.
You're going to have injuries to deal with.
That's right. So you're going to see new talent coming through, and they're going to have to make way for some of this new talent to fit in, because they're not just going to come just to be mid-card.
I don't get that. That's why you do it with whiteboards. You don't do it with pen. Yep. You can change.
So that's it.
Yeah.
So Dom and the Demon for the US title.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't for the US title, son.
Yeah, it was pretty much what you
just Dom and the Demon.
Yeah, dominating.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, I was shocked, but not shocked, because when I thought about it, that no one interfered in the match, but then I thought, well, who are you going to send out? You're going to send out JD, and he's already been in the ladder match. You can't send out one of the. I guess you can send out Roxanne or Liv or whoever, but all they're going to do is distract.
Yeah,
Raquel can hit Finn, but he's the Demon. This is a different persona to.
Yeah, well, that's probably those. They use that logic to stay away, because they suck.
So I was half expecting someone to show up, and then I but they could have injected anybody. They could have got any of the Mexican, any of the Lucha Libres to come out as a new member.
Yeah.
To help Dom out.
But it's refreshing, because I feel like in a lot of matches across every pay-per-view we've seen this year, it's been a lot of running. So
I know,
it's
and
nice
I understand
to see that there was no
exactly. I was pleased that they just went up with a straight up match. Because if Dom had won that match, I just would have felt like
would have been run-ins the night before. So that's not going to overdo it.
You're spot on. They did run-ins the night before, and it just that's why I just thought, oh, they're going to do something here. They're going to help Dom out, I'm glad they didn't, though.
Yeah.
As far as the match goes, Finn was good. Dom's, you're polishing a turd there. Look, he does all right. He's not clean, but the persona, I love the persona. The character is fantastic. Just, I find it hard to fault what they're doing with Dom. And then, of course, he carries the AAA title, so I guess that sort of gives him minor credit. I don't know how you feel about the AAA title, but it gives him, in Mexico, obviously, he carries a lot of weight, and over anywhere else, I guess it sort of just puts gold around his waist and gives him some minor credit.
Yeah. So let's just get to the main event, because I reckon we're going to spend a bit of time talking about this one, because you're a Roman fan, I'm a Punk fan.
Yeah.
I think we both enjoyed the match.
Thought it was a great match. Yeah, absolutely. Back and forth, everything we expected. 34 minutes around, so that was good, because we got a quality match.
Start to finish. We're talking from entrance.
Just two professional.
Yeah.
Just absolutely.
You've got Roman coming out to his old thing with the drum, but then CM Punk's entrance. That was special.
Yeah.
His first theme from AFI, Misery Canter, or whatever you call it. Just a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Having him sit up on top of the Allegiant Stadium of, after having drone footage of going through at Las Vegas, and then seeing him walk out back, that part of the entrance felt like a UFC fight, where you've got a guy leaving his locker room to come out.
That's right. Yeah.
Camera following him, and then to have pictures of his journey and then come back to him. Oh, it was special.
Yeah. Yeah. It was one of the only entrances I found.
Yeah. Because it made sense for the story. That's why. It helps add to the fight.
Yeah.
People that watched that, and I've seen the comments since, when they saw that entrance, they believed Punk was going to win. So it sends people up, doesn't it? Yeah, because they go, he's got a special entrance.
That's it.
He's going to win.
Yeah.
No. This is just Punk's story.
Sentimental, doesn't it?
It does. It does. And then he gets the ramp, and look, and then it's just same old. I don't like his theme. I prefer AFI's tune, but
yeah, that's fine.
But then getting into the match, it was crafted very, very well. There was a little bit of fuckery in terms of I didn't like how the referee could use his discretion to not disqualify.
I was sick of them mentioning that.
Yeah. And then, you're right. It got mentioned way too many times because they wanted to make it make sense.
Yeah.
Why not just make it no sanctions?
That's it. I'll just say, whatever.
I just didn't understand. So the match itself was great, but just that part of
the whole commentary, I got sick of listening to Bray Wyatt.
Wade Barrett. Can I say though, Michael Cole is the worst commentator of all time.
I don't know if he's the worst, but towards the end, I was thinking, just shut up, Cole, will you?
Yeah.
So I agree with you. That 2 days of those two droning on. I would have liked to have seen different voices over 2 days. I think they could have done that, but they just decided to go with the same commentary team over both days.
Yeah, I like Corey Graves. Corey Graves doesn't get a big.
I agree with you. Corey Graves, I like Corey. So look, at the end of it, the match lived up to the hype by far. Like you said, I'm happy with the outcome. You weren't.
But
I think,
if CM Punk wins, where does he go to?
That's it. I was going to say that. Right, so where do we go to?
Because what this does is, you think long term. So we're talking about that storyboard. So CM Punk now has to chase that. He got to the main event now.
Yeah, he's done.
He's now going to chase that win at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Whereas
we got the win at WrestleMania in the War Games, or what was the match they had at WrestleMania where he had to bring him in, and was that WrestleMania where he finally got to be? Oh, that's where he had that was a triple threat with Wars and where he ended up taking Heyman. Yeah. So that was
So he's still looking for that win in the on the biggest stage.
Yeah.
So then like that gives him a storyline to chase. As far as Roman Reigns concerned, there's been talk around possibly a reset with the Bloodline.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody wants to see the Bloodline. I don't know.
But I'd rather see. Perspective, they looked at the numbers back on the Bloodline. It was at its best.
Yeah,
they're going. Business isn't great at the moment. We've got to do something to reverse that.
If he does that though, it's got to be a new Bloodline. It can't be the Usos. It can't be, Solo. It can't. None of that can happen now.
No,
Usos are off winning together. That's it. The Usos are off doing their tag team stuff. Eventually that'll end, and Jay will probably go back to singles, and Jimmy will go back to Sookin.
Fatherhood won't have him Sookin.
And look, and I can see Jimmy and LA Knight perhaps winning the tag team titles or something.
Yeah,
just to keep, because I'm shocked that LA doesn't have gold around his waist. I really am. Like, he's another one who I'm thinking, what has this guy got to? Yeah, exactly. What are they doing with this guy? Like, he's got everything.
It just feels like his match. Like, he was just, we don't have anything for this guy. It's popular.
And it's almost like they believe the fans love him regardless of whether he's got gold or not. So they're just happy not to do anything with him. They've got to start injecting him into some of these. Like, but then, does he go against Roman?
People then don't sort of see him as a main event player if he's not.
That's right. If he's not in the. That's it. If he's not in the main, or if he can't get to the next level, you're spot on. So I can see him and maybe once they lose the tag teams, the Usos, I can see him and maybe Jimmy tagging up and Jay going to do his own thing.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Look, it's just. There's so many guys that I think need to be pushed, but you can't push them all, can you?
No.
But they each got to have their turn. They each got to have a lick at the ice cream, as they say.
Yeah.
So, I think it's time for LA to be taken out of the shadows and start to step in.
Yeah. And again, it would give a fresh feel at the top of the card.
Yep.
Because then they've got a guy that hasn't really played a major part in the main event. So whoever he comes up against is going to feel like, this feels like the first time ever.
Yeah.
You know? And whatever direction they take with him as a champion, hell, turn him heel. He played a very good arrogant heel in NXT.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do something with him that just,
absolutely.
It's the top of the card.
As far as Roman goes, if they're going to do a new bloodline, like I said, it has to be a new set of guys coming in. It just can't be the old guys coming back.
Yeah.
I would rather see Ambrose come back, or and they do something, than him have a new bloodline. Like, I'd love to see, him come back, Moxley come back. That'd be fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just don't see it happening anytime soon.
No, well, you know, I mean, look, he's obviously doing well over the other mob, and there's rumors. There's always rumors. I guess he's one of their main stars over there. Like he plays not in the top.
He's got to understand that it's a different business with WWE at the moment, and if he comes across, he would be treated as a major star. Look at what Cody's done.
Yeah.
So he's got to back himself. If, of course, it depends what he actually wants.
Yes.
And the road time isn't as much as what it was when he was back doing it. Yeah. So, you know, he's a father, first and foremost. He will have his time with his family.
Yeah. Sure.
And not that old brutal WWE 5 house shows, whatever a week.
No, I'd love to see him come and either win the Money in the Bank or the Battle Royal.
Yeah.
You know, have an automatic shot at WrestleMania or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, probably Money in the Bank. Have a shot at the title. Go after Roman, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, that would just be awesome. And
but there's so many different people now that weren't there when he was there last. So, again, you talk about fresh feel. Yeah, that would be awesome. And CM Punk as well, you know, he's only scratched the surface of what he could potentially do in terms of his matchups. Feels like most of the guys he's faced since he's most of the guys he's faced since he's come back are guys that were already there when he was there.
That's right.
Like, so he hasn't faced any of the newer talent.
I mean, I never got the Rollins CM Punk. I don't think we ever got that whole experience.
But I don't think we will now because Rollins is famous.
That's it. Well, and the thing is, so they both got injured, so there was just this it was built up. That would have been great to see. Unfortunately, injuries robs us of that experience.
Yeah.
Gunther, they need to put it like this whole retiring people can only last for so long. So he's someone who should be at the top of the list to face whoever, whether it's Cody or Roman. You know, Rollins is another one. So they've got guys lining up that should be looking for. And again, Rollins gets injured, and loses the title because he got injured. So he has that right to say, "Hey, I never lost my title.
Yeah, of course.
Where's my shot?" So
I'm surprised he hasn't yet.
You know, it will come.
Yeah,
because he's just come back and he had to face Gunther, so that will come. So we're going to have this whole dynamic coming up now.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see where they take it, but I guarantee you, creative's going to screw us as to what we think we should get.
Yeah,
as to what we'll get.
I know.
Because
there's a matchup waiting to happen that nobody talks about often enough, and that's Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. So we talk about Io Sky has always beaten Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns has never beaten Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
I mean, that's story there.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't played it out yet.
Yeah. And again, maybe it's timing and it's injuries and it's all that sort of stuff. So you know. He equals the most wins in a main event at WrestleMania, Roman. So that's 7.
Yeah.
So that's, so he's won more than the immortal Hulk Hogan. How's that?
Yeah, that's there you go. And he'll probably be in the main event next year. So
possibility, yeah.
Yeah,
so,
it could be 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
8 times, 9 times, 10 times. So
yeah. Well, I don't know what you guys thought, but day 1 was crap, and day 2 resurrected our hope for next year's WrestleMania.
Yeah. Drop us a line.
Yeah.
So tell us what you think. Yeah. If you want us to keep doing some wrestling shows, by all means, like, subscribe.
Yeah.
Send us a comment. And we'll keep doing it.
Yeah. So good night from him.
Yeah.
It's good night from me.